Good morning, everybody. It's Ghost Aquariums here on a beautiful sunny day in South Australia. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about, as you've probably already seen, is that dreaded white spot. And what do I do about it? And we know it's an absolute curse. And when you've got a system like this, it's an absolute massive curse. If I've got it in here, it's even harder to, get rid of it out of here. I've just got to dose the whole systems because it's so big with Ikonek. I'll get you that look. I'm going to show you a couple of products, but please, I'm not sponsored by them and hope it upset them, but this is what I use. It's from Pets Domain, reasonably priced, so that's what I use. And I also use this salt. Don't worry when it says tropical and cold water fish, what a crock of, it's all the same. Anyway, so if I do get white spot in this system, it's really hard, so I've just got to smash salt into it and flush the system a few times because it's such a big system, holds probably nearly about 10,000 litres or 8,000 or something, with all the biofilters and sumps and all those tubs that go through. So yes, it is a bit harder, so I've got to drain, treat with Ikonek every 2 days, and salt in the system, and just keep flushing it until the fish come good. And I won't say never, because about 4 years ago, if you want to go back over some of my videos, I had a massive disaster. Lost about $7,500 worth of Phoenix goldfish to a disease called velvet. So that's white spot, but the next step up, and it's nearly uncurable velvet. I only had about 4 fish survive that, and lo and behold, they're still here. Lucky these ones weren't attached to that system. But, so, let's get to the story. So I come down the other day, and the Ryukins had spawned a couple days before. So what I think had happened, the little girl that spawned, she was getting tired, and I think they just started to push her around like the males do. I normally separate them when that happens, but due to work and that, I wasn't here, and it stressed her out, and she was looking pretty ordinary. Most of the fish in there looked okay, but she was starting to get a little bit daggy. So I thought, okay, let's get onto this as quick as we can. So what did I do? Well, normally I keep some on hand, but I'd done a big dose a while ago and I never got any more of this good stuff Ikonek, so straight into Port Pirie Pets Domain and picked up some Ikonek. So then what did I do? I've got 2 of these. I have got that one there. Now they're my breeding Ryukins. So what I done is I've put salt in there, I've put the Ikonek in there, and put the fish in here within a day. That's the little lady there. She looks absolutely all right now, and they were all okay anyway. So, yeah, this is a case test on not a bad case of it, but this is just to let you know what I do. So I set up this little pump. Now, if it was a worse case, you would have to have the air a lot higher. It has to be a lot higher for this, because it helps get rid of the itchiness, and the salt helps with their slime coat and that. But because it's not a massive dose of white spot, what I have done is I've only got it running about like that. Now, you never take the stone and the line out and put in the next one. So that will stay there now, and that will get thrown out on the sun to dry out for 3 or 4 days before I go back to there, and then I can use it. So I set up a whole new tub with salt, Ikonek, and it's a fair bit of salt in there. I do it by judge, I don't do it by measurements off of the bloody internet and all that. Just, yeah. So they are going to get picked up and put into there. So I've just picked up the trusty net. Now this was used to put them in there, so 3 days ago. So what I do with that net, I will leave it out in the sun to totally dry out, because normally once it all dries out, the white spot will naturally die anyway. So now they'll get picked up, put into there, and they'll get even healthier with that salt. Don't you worry about that. Now this will get emptied out after this video. Sorry about my thumb there. And what I'll do is I'll just take this net back out and I'll hang back out there. That'll dry out again. This won't get changed until about Thursday, and then they'll go back in there. They're going to do this for 2 weeks. All right, so that's what we're doing there. But as I said, never use your airlines again. Now, this is the big tub they come from. This is the round tube. Now, possibly might have come from, as well as that stressed out. I found one Ranchu dead, and it looked a bit daggy a couple of weeks ago, whether I transferred it from there to there or not. So I actually dosed these up, and they're absolutely fine. There's nothing in there. So whether I jumped on that and caught it, but transferred it before, I don't know. And there might have been a bit in the system, and when she got stressed out, it jumped on top of her. So that's all right. And we know, I'm pretty sure, the white spot, don't hold me, it reproduces something like 1 to 200 in 24-hour period or 48-hour period. It's just outrageous how quick. So, right, the valves got turned off up here. Those air lines will be removed. All the water was drained. That's going to stay empty for a couple of weeks. We're getting up about 40 later in the week, so that'll be totally dry. I will renew the air lines after I put water back in it again, treat it with into Echinec, scrub it all, pump all that water out again, refill it back up again, put Echinec in it. Then I have the new air lines into there with no nasties on it. Now, a good friend of mine, Tyson, thank you very much, he knows who he is. He's bring a couple of these out for me. So I keep a spare one in there. I'm going to drop them in there for 2 weeks. And you might say, what's that going to do? Well, that is going to get a heap of good bacteria. So that'll pretty well, I'll push them down later, they will be pretty well good to go and working. And they sit in there, that's what I do, and I keep this tank with the Blackmores nice and clean. And they sit in there, all my excess brand new ones in there. If I need it, I can take it out, it's good to go straight away. Now they'll be taken from there, they'll put into there. She'll be up and running again in a couple of weeks. As I said, I'll reintroduce the fish again. Good lather of salt, a lot of Echinec again, new lines, new filters, and that is how I treat white spot. And I really don't have a lot of it, or ever, as I said, 4 or 5 years ago. And the only reason that happened is because the biofilter got jammed, and long story short, we were away and it was stinking hot, and by the time I come back, things had gone pear-shaped. But yes, that's what I do. But remember, from one step to the next, you've got to throw away the last lot of gear that you used in your treatment. As I said, now this has to be cleaned out, washed out, tipped upside down, dried out before I can use it again by Thursday. That Airstone and lime, I might use it again. If not, it'll probably get thrown in the bin. I'll put another setup on this one, and then they can probably, that'll be the third lot. They could probably nearly stay in there until I put them back into there in a couple of weeks. Maybe not, I might even do it again. But now they're in there, they're nice and happy. As I said, if you've got a bad case, make sure your air is much higher than that. Much higher. But at the moment, this isn't a bad case. That's enough air for them. Am I feeding them? Yes, I'm feeding them a bit in there. Not too much while they're in that. Just letting their whole body settle down. But I will feed them a little bit of high protein food. All right, that is all from me from Ghost Aquariums. Remember to subscribe, share, like, comment. Have a bit of a talk to me about white spot, what you do maybe. All right then. Let's see you in the next one.